Hey guys, the real Randy Chavez here, coming at you with a Pokemon sales video. Not a lot of information to cover, but just a couple of my thoughts on a couple things. Lugia, first edition, BGS 8.5, and the corners was the only thing that got a 9. Everything else, all the other subgrades, was an 8.5. Sold for $560. Even if this got an 8, PSA 8, that would be worth, about $500 card. So yeah, this makes sense. Voltorb, base set Voltorb first edition PSA 10 sold for $92. Dark for Alligator first edition PSA 10 sold for $792. Love that card. Blaine's Arcanine first edition PSA 9. This one, I think the same person bought both of them because one was like $900 or best offer, sold for $8. One was $799 or best offer, sold for $750. They were bought like right at the same time. So that, I believe, that was done by one person. I feel like that's someone trying to do a buyout. They knew that card is undervalued. They know it's going to grow. Same as me. T17 first edition PSA 9. The fifth bid on that. The fifth highest bid was me at $1,300. We are seeing I don't know if there's anything wrong with this card, but this is a big retrace because fourth bid was $1,450. Third bid was $1,500, then $1,550, and the winning bid was $1,575, $1,575. Right now, it looks like gone are the days of $2,200, $2,400 per T17. I think that again the market's been flooded with them, so maybe the people that wanted to buy or have bought one, maybe even 2 copies. But right now, this is a card that I think at $1,500 is still undervalued because you have a 10 that the last one sold for $10,000, and the next one is going to sell for much more than that because again, you can't get those cards. So I think it's still undervalued. I should have got it. I should have taken it. T18 first edition PSA 9 sold for $607. That card's between $600 and like $1,000, give or take. We had an Ampharos first edition PSA 10 sold for $385. We had a Dark Blastoise first edition PSA 10 sell for $1,733. I think that's a record price point. Erica's Venusaur first edition PSA 9 sold for $375. So remember when I bought a few of those at like the 130 to 150 age? Because I knew, same thing, that card was very, very undervalued. Rocket Zapdos first edition PSA 10. I swear I was going to buy this card today. $650. That is very undervalued. That is very because the 9 has been selling for like $170, and yeah, this is at the very, very lower end of the 10, selling only 3-ish times what the 9 is selling for. This should be $1,000 card in my opinion. Now, why this and not Giovanni's Nidoking? Because both of them have very similar pop 10s. First edition PSA 10, I think the Giovanni's Nidoking is 167. This has 161. So there's not that much different, but it's a legendary bird. And it's a really cool artwork. And I personally like Giovanni's Nidoking better. I think that is a better card, better artwork, and Giovanni has a special place in my heart, the Giovanni's Nidoking. I always use that Pokemon. And I think because, again, it's a legendary bird, it just looks cool. It's Rockets, and Rocket has all the cool stuff. They have Moltres, they have Mewtwo, they have a bunch of cool Pokemon. So both of those cards are undervalued, but this one, I turned down an offer to get Giovanni's Nidoking at $375. I should have taken it. I should have bought that because I think they're worth about the same. Rocket Zapdos maybe a little bit more, and this one got $650, and I should have got that. So anything you can get under $500 for those 2 cards is great, especially this one at $650. For those of you that hadn't seen my Tesla versus Pokemon video, I'll explain kind of what I went over in that because this is something I want to do with Pokemon. For those that have seen it, you could probably go ahead and skip the rest of this video. But what I'm going to do is when I sell that complete gym challenge or whenever, there's a PSA 6 trophy Kangaskhan listed right now for $29,000, $30,000, whatever it is. And I think that's a fair price. I paid $9,800 for my PSA 4 copy. And again, you can't really, there's no formula for trophy cards. It's whoever wants it, gets to pay that price. You can kind of gauge where some of the PSAs are between all right, 10s are up here and 4s down here. And it's a large gap because figure if SM Pratt got a $95,000 offer, he would take that for his PSA 10 Trophy Kangaskhan. So you have that at the upper end. He might even take 90,000. And, the lower end, the PSA 4, 9,800. You had ungraded cards that were going for like $7,000 as well, and ungraded cards that were like, all right, you're just going to get this as authentic because doesn't look good. But these cards are, I saw a 7, I think it might have sold for like $20,000, which is I think is very undervalued. And it says so because the 6 is listed for so high. I don't think he would have gotten that. But he might have got 25. But even if he got the 30, okay, that's fair. That's a new price point. Why I'm bringing this up is because rumor in the grapevine says that there is going to be a Trophy Kangaskhan PSA 9 going to be at a auction house. I forget the name of it right now. I think Heritage. Don't quote me on that. I'll find out for you. Come next month. And if I can sell my collection before then, I would trade my entire Gym Challenge set collection for a PSA 9 Trophy Kangaskhan. Something took me 2 years to get. Something cost me a bloody fortune to acquire. All first edition, all PSA 10, just because of the time and the cards weren't always there. I would trade that for that PSA 9 because there's only 40 of those graded copies of those Trophy Kangaskhan. It's not 40 graded PSA 9s. 40 copies in the pop report total from authentic to PSA 10, and that is a extremely rare card. It's a piece of history. Why would I do that as opposed to just taking the $50,000 and I don't know, buying stocks or at most, or you could put a down payment on a house for that. That is a down payment on a house. For people, and I'm just talking about New York because that's where I live. But if you're in Ohio or Texas or that is a good 20% of your, that's it, 20% down. I have the VA home loan, so I don't have to put really any down, but that's a large sum of money. To some, again, depending on context. There's some people that day trade 6 and 7 figures like it's nothing. There's me that like, okay, I'll buy 2 shares of Tesla today. But $50,000 is a lot you could do. You could I pre-ordered a Tesla Cybertruck. I could pay off almost the whole thing with that $50,000. I don't want to do that, spend that on one car, even though that car will get me something in the future. But why Pokemon over Tesla? And again, I said in that other video is because Pokemon grows. This is history. Tesla's history also. Stocks are history, especially if you invest in any type of disruptive companies like I do, and you're like to think, I own a piece of the company, but in reality, you're just kind of investing in the idea that these pieces of paper that we buy, hold value, and like, oh, you own a piece of the company. You really don't own a piece of the company unless you own like $1 billion, hundreds of millions or $1 billion worth of stock. It's $148 billion market cap for Tesla, and you could spend $100 million and not have any rights to vote or anything on anything that they do there. You don't have a say. But if you have a card that there's only 40 graded copies out there, which I have one. I have the PSA 4, and that is that's power. That's prestige. That's amazing. And I want the 9. I just want it. The 4 that I have, just because it has that crease on it, and you could take a look at videos back a few months back that I did with my friend Alex. Take a look at it, and like that does not deserve a 4. That deserves a 6, maybe a 7, because you can only see that little crease from the back, and you can only see it at certain angles. So anyone that's saying like, oh, you're crazy, you spend so much money on these cards, it's a piece of history. It's something that you have that other people can't get. Like, yeah, there's kind of price tags on it on what some people sell them for, but some of those things are priceless. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'm about to do a stock video in the next hour or so. If anyone wants to watch that, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.